Welcome to TPS Talks by TPS Triangle. I'm so thrilled you're joining us today. In this explainer, we're diving into what is honestly one of the most beautiful shared journeys of human growth, education. But hey, we aren't just looking at what happens inside the four walls of a school building. No, we're exploring the powerful, kind of invisible threads that connect a child's mind to the world around them, guided by the people who love them the absolute most. It's an emotional story, a globally relevant one, and it literally affects every single one of us. So let me ask you this right off the bat. Who is a child's first teacher? When you hear the word teacher, what actually comes to mind? Is it someone standing at a whiteboard? Someone handing out a syllabus? We often just assume that education begins on that very first day of kindergarten. But let's rethink that for a second. Where does education truly begin? Who is the very first person to teach a child how to navigate this big, crazy world? Well, there's a profound truth we actually forget quite a lot. The education of a child begins long before the classroom. It's such a simple idea, right? But it's so easily overlooked. Learning doesn't just magically start when a school bell rings. It starts in those quiet, everyday moments at home. It starts with the tone of voice we use in the living room, how a family responds to a tough situation, and the core values that are modeled day in and day out. Which brings us to Section 1, the first classroom, and where learning actually begins. If education kicks off before school, then your home is undeniably that first classroom. A family's daily routines, they form a child's absolute foundational environment. Long before they can read a book or write their name, kids are like little sponges, observing and absorbing everything around them. And here's the best part, teaching here doesn't require a strict lesson plan. I mean, did you know that in the first few years of life, a child's brain is forming over 1 million new neural connections every single second? That's mind-blowing. So a spilled cup of milk at breakfast isn't just a mess. How we react to it teaches that child patience and problem solving. Walking around the neighborhood pointing out leaves teaches curiosity. Sitting down for a bedtime story, that sparks a lifelong love for knowledge. Kindness, responsibility, respect, all of the big stuff, it's taught completely naturally in the beautiful, ordinary moments at home. It helps to think of a child like a seed. A tiny seed holds immense, beautiful potential. But as we know, potential alone isn't enough, is it? I mean, you wouldn't toss a seed onto a concrete sidewalk and expect a massive oak tree to grow. The seed needs the right soil, it needs sunlight, care, and protection. In this scenario, the home is that soil. A child's innate potential absolutely requires the right emotional environment, consistency, and care at home to truly flourish and put down those deep roots. Moving right along to Section 2, support beyond homework and how we nurture that growth. Okay, I know a lot of parents feel this immense pressure when we bring up education at home. But let me be super clear about something. You do not need to become a professional teacher to be highly effective. Your job isn't to flawlessly teach advanced calculus. Your role is to nurture growth by creating the right emotional climate. It's about setting up daily routines so your child feels secure. It's about carving out a dedicated, quiet space where learning is respected. And most importantly, it's about modeling healthy habits. When a home is a place of active listening and emotional safety, a child's brain is literally primed for learning. Stress and anxiety, they block learning. But a supportive home environment acts as a total accelerator for a kid's curiosity. But we do need to talk about the crucial difference between control and support. Out of deep love and a totally natural desire to protect, parents sometimes fall into the trap of doing the work for their kids. If they forget their homework, we rush to the school to drop it off. If a science project is tough, we just do it for them. True support, though, means patiently guiding them through their mistakes. It's pausing and asking, well, how do you think you can solve this? Instead of just handing over the answer. That right there is how a child builds true, lasting resilience. This naturally leads us into Section 3, the homeschool bridge, which is truly a shared journey. Eventually, of course, the child steps into the classroom. Now they're moving continuously between these two major worlds, home and school. The absolute key here is partnership, focusing on empathy over blame. There's a wonderful little anecdote from our source material about a teacher who noticed a normally enthusiastic student had suddenly become super quiet and withdrawn. Now, instead of calling the parents to complain about the kid not paying attention, the teacher called and simply asked, "Hey, how is your child doing at home?" That one simple empathetic question opened up a whole dialogue. The parents shared they were going through a rough patch at home, and together they built a support plan for the student. That is exactly how education transforms into a powerful, shared partnership. You see, these two environments have shared but distinct responsibilities. The home provides emotional security, daily habits, and core values. Parents understand the child deeply, way beyond the classroom walls. Meanwhile, the school provides academic structure, professional guidance, and assessment, right? Teachers are the experts on the learning environment. When these two sides actually talk to each other openly, the child is caught in this beautiful safety net of support. They both literally have to cooperate for the child to thrive.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, empowering the student and helping them find their voice.
Because education isn't just something that gets done to a child. It's a process they have to actively participate in. Early on, sure, a child starts in a state of passive dependence, relying pretty much entirely on adults for guidance. But as they grow, surrounded by that supportive home and school we just talked about, they move to the next phase, asking questions. They start finding their own voice. After that, they begin setting goals. And finally, they reach the ultimate stage, active responsibility. This is the sweet spot where they take true ownership of their education. They aren't just studying because someone told them to, they're studying because they actually understand their own potential.
Now bringing it all together in Section 5, the TPS Triangle, a connected system.
This is where all three of these vital, powerful forces unite into one unified model that we call the TPS Triangle. It's a human development framework built entirely on trust, respect, and communication. Now hear me out. The purpose of this triangle is absolutely not to replace educators, and it's definitely not to force parents into being professional teachers. It is a meaningful, living structure that brings everyone involved in the learning process together. Inside this system, we have three distinct, interconnected roles. First, the teacher acts as the guide, offering direction and professional instruction. Second, the parent acts as the supporter, providing that crucial emotional stability and reinforcing values at home. And third, the student is the active learner, taking responsibility for their own personal growth. If any single one of these sides disconnects, the whole triangle weakens. But when they are bound together by communication and mutual respect, they form an unbreakable system that literally shapes a child's entire future.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 6, Shaping the Future Together.
When we zoom out for a second, we realize this isn't just about one kid or one single classroom. This is a massive global perspective. I mean, imagine diverse families, teachers from all sorts of different cultures, and schools across the entire world all working in harmony. Remember, every child begins learning long before school. Parents are their first teachers. Teachers are their partners. Students are active participants. Together, they shape the future. That right there is the ultimate unifying message of our explainer today. The stakes are incredibly high, but man, the potential is so beautiful. When we work together, we aren't just teaching a syllabus. We are quite literally building the future of humanity. The TPS Triangle framework is all about stronger relationships, better education, and brighter futures. You can dive deeper by visiting tpstriangle.com or check out @TPS Triangle on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. But hey, before you click away, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Whether you're a parent, a teacher, an aunt, an uncle, or a mentor, what is one small thing you can do today to strengthen the triangle for the learners in your own life? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see you next time.